Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have with us Ryan Kugler, who's the owner and president of Plan B Distribution. Ryan, welcome to the program.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm looking forward to learning from you because as we were just talking before we went on our recorded podcast interview here, you own several companies and you run them all at the same time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what your entrepreneurial journey's been like. Give us a little bit of background, and then what has that entrepreneurial journey been? And let's dive into what you do, how you do it, and how you succeed.
Let's rock and roll. Okay, so I'm Ryan Kugler. I'm based in Los Angeles right now. California. I've been here for about 20 years. I've moved around the country when I was a kid from Chicago to LA to Oregon to Florida, and now back to LA. And basically, I started working my life, meaning I started making money, minimum wage at age 15, because I did actually a work-study program at my school. So I was getting $3.35 an hour, which I thought was great at age 15.
Yep.
And then as soon as I was done with school, I immediately went to work. I did not go to college, unfortunately, but I immediately started making money and got into sales. And I have to say, sales is definitely a fun and energetic and motivating way to stay in business. And you're always thinking and waking up every day going, what can I sell today and how can I make more money? So ever since then, I've been selling, and I've owned several companies. Currently, I own 3 different companies that I run actually at the same time as well as my employees. I call it a layered company, which means each person who works for me, whether they're in marketing or logistics or finance, et cetera, they actually work all 3 companies. So this way their day is different and exciting because they're not doing the same thing every day.
Yeah. Ooh, that is exciting, and that is one of the things that people, love, that trips their buttons to be that serial entrepreneur. You just happen to not do one, sell it, move to the other one, sell it, move to the other. You just go ahead and just piling it all on at the same time.
You got it, and I'm still looking for that 4th thing, so I'm always out there looking because I don't want to limit myself, so I have not one side hustle, 2, 3 side hustles. Technically.
Well, so actually, I love the concept of side hustle, and I love the concept that today, meaning, in decades past, if you wanted to have that side hustle, remember way back in the day, if you were talking about minimum wage being 3 something, I remember my first job at McDonald's, and I remember the number $3.35. So you must be around my same age if 3 something was in your minimum wage. But where I'm getting at is, back in those days, moonlighting was one of the phrases, and a TV show with Kirsty Alley maybe,
Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd.
Yeah, there you go. So I remember that. So moonlighting was almost like a hush-hush thing. These days, it's like side hustle, cool. And it's so easy today to have and create a side hustle, which is kind of dipping your toe in the water. And so what I would love to ask you is, Plan B Distribution is the name of your company. We'll dive into that. But what is actually a relevant thought mindset for the phrase Plan B as it relates to someone going, okay, well, I want to give all I can to what's in front of me. Like if I'm in a corporate job, I don't want to have a plan B and kind of watering down my service to my company. But maybe if I have that side hustle, that would help me kind of smooth out the rough edges. But what all is the Plan B mindset? And then let's dive into what's Plan B Distribution.
Okay, so basically it's in sync with each other. So I'm going to go Plan B Distribution, then the mindset.
Okay.
Plan B Distribution is actually a closeout liquidation business. So I was when I finished school, I got into the business of buying and selling widgets. Actually, at the time, VHS movies, just movies. So I got in the business of buying and selling media, movies, music, games, toys, etc. And basically, it was a family-owned business, and I came in as a salesperson. And when the movies weren't, when those new releases came out, and everybody went and rented them, and then 30, 60, 90 days later, they just, lose their love and people wouldn't need them anymore, our company would come in and buy them and then resell them individually. Okay. So Plan B is really a liquidation company, a wholesaler. I like to call it a secondary wholesaler. It's kind of a better name. But basically, when Plan A doesn't work, Plan B is there. So when someone puts out a product, your listeners right now made their own cell case or some product that goes, makeup or something like that. When it doesn't sell well or loses its love, meaning the sales decline, then it's time for plan B. So then that's where our company comes in and we help them move the product to new avenues, new verticals that they have not thought or considered, and that's our business basically.
And does that is one of the distribution channels that you would connect up for them, like Amazon?
Yes and no. Usually those people that are listening are already selling on Amazon because that's the hottest and greatest place to sell to.
Right.
We sell to brick and mortar. We do sell on Amazon, internet, different sites and so forth, but our main thing is brick and mortar, the smaller 10 to 30 store chains. So everyone thinks of like a TJ Maxx or a Ross or something like Home Goods. Sure, we sell to those guys, but there are stores that people don't know of in middle America that have 10 to 25 stores. So those are the people we go to.
So similar to like a Big Lots kind of a concept.
Yes.
But you're setting up a really almost like a boutique type of feel where it's like smaller, individual relationships, 5 to 10, 15, 20 stores. You're not just tapping into the larger ones, but you're getting, really granular into the community in reality.
Yeah, we are. Well, we buy the goods from the person, and then we then go redistribute them. So this way the person, again, they've done plan A, they had this idea, I'm going to make this cool little wrap that goes around my arm and blah, 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 and then great, they go sell it, it doesn't sell anymore, sales are slowing, they come up with a new product. Well, they're going to sell us that product now because we are the plan B because they're done with it and sick of it. We bring it into our warehouse, and then we redistribute it to those new channels, which gives life to products before they go to the dump or a landfill.
And in reality, the manufacturer of that product, they couldn't care less where you're taking it. They just wanted the check to when you bought that lot, that bunch of whatever the widgets were, and you're buying it at a wholesale at a discount, not pennies on the dollar, but you're not giving them full retail. Well, they couldn't sell it for full retail. They put it on sale. They couldn't sell it there. They wish that a wholesale price point would come up where someone would buy the lot. Here you come, and then they don't care if you then burn it or take it to the dump or sell it to stores. Now, of course, they would love to have it seen out in the world, but you are relieving them of that inventory, and now they're like, hallelujah, I can now take the money and do whatever they want to do with it. So is that the last point of contact you have with them, or are there other things that you would help that retailer with?
You are correct, by the way. Great sales pitch. I want to write that down and use it. What you just said, well done, you're hired. But yes, 9 times out of 10, they don't care what we do with it because when they're coming to us, we are the last resort. They're done. They want to move on in life. Everybody wants to move on in life and just be done with something. Some people still have their tentacles involved in something and they might give us restrictions. Do they use us again? Yeah, but not like on a monthly basis. They might come up again a year later and use it. So sometimes in my talks when I'm hired to talk to people or, do these podcasts, I will educate people on how not to make this mistake again. Yeah. So our goal is also so that they don't call us again. So I always have a friend I'll sit with at dinner or at a party. Oh, yeah, I got this new product I'm making. It's a thing that goes on a sell thing. And I say, listen, do not over-order. Just order the minimum amount needed. Yeah. Then once you sell it out, then order it again. Because a lot of new people who are new to this business and want to make some type of widget to put out in the market, great, awesome. But they order like tens of thousands of units and sell 2,000, and then they call me, and I feel really bad for them. I mean, I'll buy it, but I just feel bad.
And the reason that I asked that question is it's kind of like when you're, quote unquote, handing over the check for that number of units, and it might not be in person. It might be, here's the digital check and I Zoomed with that person, but it's almost like you want to go, hey, love you, wish you well, but I hope we never do business again because that means that maybe you got into the same spot again. So here's some tips, or I've got this little, coaching package where I'm going to come alongside you for X number of dollars and help you, stimulate, sales for the next product or whatever. So those are just things that you do just to, out of courtesy to people, but that is nice to know that there is a place, a plan B for distribution for people that go, oops, got too much, please help me take it off. And they don't have a relationship with the Big Lots of the world. They can call you and go, here's what I got, and let's talk.
Yep, that's right. We make them a cash offer. We cash wire them. We pick it all up. It's a one-way sale. It's done. They're done with it. They don't see anything else, and then they can go work on the next product. And you're right. Take the cash they got, and put it into the next product that they're doing or pay their bills or whatever they need to do with it. So we work with everyone from a small individual to large manufacturers of huge corporations like that you've seen, blue chip companies who do sell actually on a yearly basis or, bi-monthly basis, et cetera, because everyone, including large manufacturers, do make mistakes, or they just want to move on, or maybe, there's a packaging change or something like that. So we were just the plan B when plan A didn't work. But that's what we're here for.
Awesome. So you have 3 businesses that you run at the same time. You're fully vested focus-wise in each one. How do you make that work? And that, the question is, how do you make a side hustle work for someone thinking, hey, I might want to, but you've got 3, not side hustles, you've got 3 focus companies you're focusing on. So that means that you've got to be extremely disciplined, priorities, efficient, things, all that, the time management, the making sure that everything's running. What are some tips that way for someone that has a lot going on, and even for someone thinking of that old school moonlighting or side hustle? What are some things to keep in mind to make sure that all those plates spinning on the sticks in the air keep spinning?
Good question. So, yes, I have 2 other companies, 3 total, that are in different verticals, different channels. And I did that on purpose because in our world, one vertical, one industry might tank, not do well, and the other one's good. So I always want to go home happy. So first of all, yes, I have 5 employees here in my office in Los Angeles, the usual marketing, assistant, finance, logistics, all that, a business manager. They all work all 3 companies. I call it a layered company. So they're working on one company after another, and it keeps them busy. So this way they want to come to work because they're not doing the usual riffraff of whatever. How do I stay? I have to take my Prevligent or Ginkgo to keep myself aware, because sometimes when you get an email from Bob, you go, Bob who, and what are we talking about? Or someone calls, hey, it's Bob.
Was this again?
What are we talking about, Bob? Did you want to buy something? Did you want to sell something? Where are we at today? So that's the real hard part. But yes, I answer all the emails. I work all the deals. Yes, I have time management. I do start work at 5 in the morning. I leave at about 4, so I'm here, 10, 12 hours a day. That's enough to work all 3. The other companies are for people who are interested. I have a marketing company, and I have an event company. Well, the event company is easy because usually the events are on the weekend. I do a lot of charity runs and walks. So that's technically my weekend side hustle, okay? Yes, there's planning for the event during the week, but that's what that happens. The marketing company, we make specialized marketing material, high-end brochures, that play a video upon opening. So it's not just a paper brochure, you just flip a page. This actually has a video screen in it that plays when you open it. And we do this with custom boxes and so forth. So I really just, wake up every day motivated. I get things done. I reply to all emails before I leave. I return all calls before I leave for the day. And then it all starts over the next day.
Okay, so one thing that jumps out at me is, do you do the old, I've heard it called time blocking? Like, do you go from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., I'm working in business 1, and I'm answering emails, staying focused in that mindset, and if something comes in, about business 2 or 3, I'm going to know that I take care of those from 1 to 3 or 3. Do you do that, or you just handle everything as it comes in?
Either or. So each day is different. It depends. If I have an event, like I have an event this weekend, so I'm putting more time on the event this week to make sure that we have all the food ordered, all the tables and chairs, we have bathrooms showing up, all that. Do we have all the permits? Did I speak to the maintenance guy? So that's going to take a little more priority this week, okay? So there's more time blocking, if you call it that. So yes, I'm going to look at that email address first every day. There's a good way to look at it, okay? Where now, and we've had days where all 3 companies we have major things going on, okay? So that's the day where I'll just do a little bit of each and just see what's going on. So, so I go back and forth. It just depends.
Do you also follow the Michael Gerber E-Myth work on your business, not in your business? Do you take times or days or times of the year where you go, okay, in plan B, distribution, I'm going to take time to work on my business by planning and thinking and strategizing? Do you find yourself pulling away so that you can do that as well?
I do that when I take drives. So when I work out, yes. When I take drives, I have to pick up my daughter from school, so she's 20, 25 minutes away. So I do not make phone calls in cars. That's my number 1 rule. That is where my thinking machine is happening. And then I do it at night before I go to bed. I usually write out my goals and targets and like battle plan for the next day. I will shoot myself an email of everything I need to do, so this way I can sleep all night and not wake up at 3 in the morning thinking, oh shit, did I forget that? Sorry. Anyway, but yes, that's how I kind of work.
Yeah, Okay, so and here's another question, because you start thinking about, I can only imagine what's going on in your email inbox, your brain. Do you ever take, are you 7 day a week, 24/7, 365? Do you take Saturdays and do nothing but family fun stuff? Because at some point you better pull away from this, or you are going to be quickly swept out with the tide.
You are correct. So yes, I do. So Sundays I do not look at email. I do not go to work unless I have an event, of course.
Good. Yeah.
Usually Saturday I will come to work for about 2 hours and just answer the emails from Friday. Plus our manufacturing is in China, so I will answer any China emails then. But pretty much from Saturday, say at 10 a.m. to Monday morning, no email, no work, no nothing. And then usually when I leave work at 4 o'clock-ish, I do not do anything on email or phone or anything until I write my battle plan targets for the next day.
Yeah.
Unless I'm waiting for a certain email, because again, we do sell internationally, and if I'm waiting for something, I will look, because internationally you're dealing with 8 to 10 hours ahead of you or behind you, so you do need to kind of respond to those. Otherwise, it's an extra day of someone's life wasted.
Yes, 100%. Well, let's do this, Ryan. Let's wrap up with what is one takeaway that someone listening to this that is either in the midst of a crazy busy schedule that they are, in charge of, or looking at creating that side hustle to get a little bit more into their life. What's one takeaway that you would say you must do this and keep this in mind?
Today's times, don't be lazy. That's really what my one takeaway is. The world is changing every day. It's definitely changed in the last 18 months. So right now I would say don't get lazy. Just work as hard as you can. Be self-disciplined. Don't be distracted by social media or other things going on. Just stick to your goals and really make it happen and do it now. That's what I suggest. The more you dilly-dally and go, let me just go away, and you get taken away from one website to another, because once you go on the internet, between pop-ups and this and that, you're in another zone. You're going down a rabbit hole that's going to take you 30 minutes to an hour away of your life.
100%. Well, thank you so much. And what's the best way that someone listening to this could learn more about what you do? Maybe the plan B, like, I've got some product I would love to talk to them about, or I need, an event marketed. What's the best way they can reach out and connect with you?
Best way, you can go to my website. You can obviously Google my name, Ryan Kugler, or RyanKugler.com, RyanKugler.com. Takes you to all 3 different companies. But Plan B, if you got an inventory issue, which I'm not pitching or selling you on, but if you do, the website is aplanb.com. So www.aplanb.com.
Awesome. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for coming on today. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneurssradio.com.